Welcome back. For more on our top stories and others, you can check out our website, channelstv.com and youtube.com/channelsweb. You can also watch us on the go on your mobile device. Just log on to m.channelstv.com or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. Having the Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You also have the Eyewitness feature, so you too can be a part of the news. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions to share those pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. The Victim Support Fund plans to spend 3 billion naira in rehabilitating communities devastated by Boko Haram insurgents in Adamawa, Borno and Yobe states, 1 billion naira more than it did last year. The Executive Secretary of the fund, Professor Sunday Ochoche, made this known during the opening ceremony of a 3-day forum in Yola, the Adamawa state capital.
Civil society groups, nominees from targeted local government areas, representatives of the 3 frontline states, Adamawa, Borno and Yobe, and officials of the Victims Support Fund at a meeting to review last year's activities and the proposed rehabilitation plans for the new year. Representing the chairman of the Victims Support Fund, Ambassador John Ghana restates the commitment of the organization to the welfare of Boko Haram victims in the region.
I urge all the participants at this forum to approach the 3-day event with the seriousness it deserves. We at VSF lay a great store on the outcome of this forum.
The Executive Secretary of VSF, Professor Ochoche, reveals plans to establish operational offices in Yola and Maiduguri for effective service delivery.
Of all that we did in Adamawa and across the northeastern state was under 2 billion naira. But in 2017, we are going to target about 3 billion naira in our delivery to the states.
For the Adamawa state government, the VSF in its various intervention programs has done well for the people, especially in education, healthcare and humanitarian services.
The effort to rebuild the North-East must be collective and collaborative. The gathering here of stakeholders of the 3 most affected states is a manifestation of this.
Representatives of Borno and Yobe states also contribute to the discussion.
The family of those who are killed by Boko Haram, some of them are given token amount, but that token amount meant for them went into the wrong hand.
Victims of Boko Haram insurgency of Yobe State are highly appreciative of your intervention, which has improved and restored back their lives. And the government and community leaders from Yobe State and the entire beneficiaries who benefited from these projects are assuring you that the project will receive support and cooperation.
At the end of the 3-day deliberation, it is expected that the decision reached here will in the long run benefit the victims and aid their resettlement and rehabilitation process according to the vision for which the fund was set up.
The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, has sworn in 5 commissioners of the National Population Commission. The brief ceremony took place before the Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja today. The swearing-in follows the successful screening of the commissioners by the Senate after their nomination by the President last year. The commissioners are Dr. Itayo Oyetunji from Oyo State, Mr. Benedict Ukpong from Akwa Ibom State, Dr. Haliru Bala from Kebbi State, Mrs. Patricia Uche from Benue State, and Mrs. Gloria Izufo from Bayelsa State. Education has been described as the bedrock of any development, and this is according to the Ogun State Governor. It was reiterated by him during the 25th and 26th combined convocation of Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agoiwoye. The governor asked the 5,450 students to use what they've learned while in school to solve problems rather than adding to them. He also offers automatic scholarship to the best graduating student into any school in the world.
This is a combined convocation ceremony of the 2014-2015 and 2015-2016 set of Olabisi Onabanjo University Agoiwoye, and it coincides with the 35th anniversary of the establishment of the institution. The 5,450 graduates are from the 10 faculties, 5 campuses of the Ogun State-owned school. The Vice-Chancellor is proud that the school has been able to stabilize its academic calendar and ask the graduates to live by the lessons learned in the course of their studentship.
We have cause to rejoice and thank God Almighty for making this day a reality. This is a special day that all graduates will love and cherish, as many of them are graduating after 4 or 5 years as their program dictates. Thus, we have established a tradition of finishing as at when due.
The visitor of the school and the governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, is excited about the quality of graduates the school is turning out and offers scholarship to the overall best students.
In the whole of the country, we have the best graduating medical students. Just recently, some few months back, this same university was rated as the best university, best state-run university in Nigeria. So what else do you ask for? These are the good things that we are praying for. And it's showing that, yes, when you work well, of course, there's always a reward. But I'm happy. The reward is not just for me. It is for people that we are developing people, greater leaders of tomorrow. But now with what we are doing, we are turning out employable youths. People that, yes, they will even be, everybody's running after to say, okay, come and work with us.
The best student, a graduate of medicine, says dedication and focus are the secrets of his performance.
When the convocation ceremony committee contacted me that I'm the best overall in the university, I was surprised and I'm glad.
Going forward, Governor Amosun says investment in education is a mandatory task for any administration in the state, irrespective of political affiliations, and asks students to protect the heritage of the 40-year-old state.
In another part of the state, the ongoing warning strike by members of the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, APSUP, has paralyzed activities at the Moshood Abiola Polytechnic in the Ogun State capital, Abeokuta. According to the Southwest Zonal Chairman of the union, Mr. Olawale Olatunji, the union resolved at its emergency NEC meeting held on the 25th of January to embark on a warning strike to call the attention of the government to critical issues affecting polytechnics across the country.
Our agitation centers around the fact that the sector is fast heading towards collapse, and we are saying it must not collapse. When you go through the flyer that we printed and started distributing as far back as November 2016, numbers of our agitations are there listed, ranging from the implementation of a need assessment that was done in 2014, running through to victimization of union leaders in our polytechnic in Nigeria, then talking about the refusal of the government to release white paper on the removal of a dichotomy or discrimination against HND holders.
The leaders of the Yoruba race in southwest Nigeria have resolved to set up a high-powered committee to rouse the people to network with others of like minds across the country to work towards restructuring the country before the next general elections. This formed the major resolution of the meeting of the Afenifere in Akure, the Ondo State capital.
Known to Nigeria.
The Yoruba leaders' meeting was well attended, and for good reasons too. The leaders are worried about what they call the mass mystery in the country. They are also worried about the situation between the herdsmen and the farmers in some states.
We are worried by the mass killings going on in Southern Kaduna, like I have said, in Okiogun, in different among Igbos and northern Nigeria, and the states appears to be helpless or sometimes unwilling to curb the excesses of these killers. To this end, meeting resolved to set up a high-powered committee to rouse the Yoruba nation and to network with our friends and like minds across Nigeria to work on the urgency of now, to insist that this country must be restructured before we go for another elections in this country.
Restructuring is the key word, and some of the leaders who spoke to journalists after the meeting believe that this will bring about regional and economic development.
It was discussed at the National Confab, which I was a member, and unanimously the restructuring issue came up. It has been approved by the Federal Executive Council of that time. The report was sent to the then National Assembly. We are requesting from General Buhari, let him revisit it.
We must have a certain modicum of power in our hands through the restructuring of the Nigerian Federation so that we'll be able to develop our own resources, develop our own strategies, irrespective of Nigeria, for our own development, and find ways in which we will include our young people who are coming out of school in the economic development of our region.
The meeting also issued a 9-day ultimatum to President Muhammadu Buhari to forward the name of the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onnoghen, to the Senate for approval.
When news across Nigeria returns, we'll go to southeast Nigeria, where Anambra completes an aerial mapping of the entire state. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.